And we got a weird Christmas present from Florida State this morning. Weird. The crazy part is it probably was. The timing is perfect. We get to give our fans hope of leaving the ACC for Christmas. Listen. Florida State, if they have $572 million and it means that much for them to get out of the ACC and they want to pay the exit fee that they agreed to pay, that they signed on the dotted line, I'll roll out the red carpet for them and tell them to leave.
Nice knowing you.
See it. I'll pat you on the back and say it was fun as I send you out the door.
Send us a postcard.
But if they don't want to pay that money, which it appears they don't want to pay that money, then we've got bigger problems. We've got a fight. Let the games begin. Ding, ding, ding. Peter Collins is the chair of the Florida State Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees held their meeting this morning, and not only were they out to say, ding, 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 start round one, they were already throwing shots, calling out Bubba Cunningham, University of North Carolina athletic director, for the audio. Here's Peter Collins.
Next year, the funding gap between the ACC and the two other conferences will grow to over $30 million per team per year. It's one thing to fundraise and make up $7 million. It's another entirely to annually make up over $30 to $40 million. As an institution, FSU cannot be expected to sit idly by while this gap grows. Or, as one of the other athletic directors in the conference said earlier this year, stop barking, pay your exit fee, and wait 13 years for your grant of rights to be up. I think everybody involved at Florida State expects much more from this board than to follow that advice.
That athletic director he was calling out, that was Bubba Cunningham, and he said the stop barking line right here on this network to our very own Adam Gold during the Adam Gold Show, which airs right before this one every weekday. Listen, you signed a deal that you don't think is a good deal anymore. Bummer. Right? The Florida State is claiming it will cost, this comes from in the meeting, they had a chart and everything. In the meeting this morning, they're claiming it will cost more than $500 million to leave the ACC, with costs of both the exit fees and what they're calling the unwinding from the grant of rights. The chart said they will owe $572 million. If they want to pay the exit fee and stop barking, to quote Bubba Cunningham, I'm fine with it. Like I said, that $572 million, that's enough to make it worth the conference's while to wish them good luck. Take a bunch of that money, divide it amongst every school, give everybody a nice little one-time payment, then take the rest, put it into an incentive-based payout pool that'll keep everyone happy, right? The higher powers, the bigger powers in the conference. If you want to go ahead and say, hey, $10 million a year to the winner of the ACC in football, $2 million a year to the winner of the ACC in men's and women's basketball. You can break it down however you want. That's enough money to say, all right, cool, leave. But if you are claiming that you're going to try to somehow attack the grant of rights agreement and you don't want to pay the $572 million, then it's worth the ACC's while to tie you up in court and fight back with the aggression of the 17 remaining schools. Then it's worth getting Stanford lawyers on it, UNC lawyers on it, Duke lawyers, get them all. Get the best and the brightest. Put them on the same team and say, we're up against Florida State right now. Go do your thing.
The legal dream team.
The legal dream team. You may be wanting to go to the SEC. That's cool. But have you thought about the ACC lawyers you're going to have to jump over to get there? The Board of Trustees meeting that Florida State had this morning, it's what I call fake hustle. Fake hustle is, in basketball, the ball's already bounced out of bounds twice, but you're going to dive to try to save it just so you get the court burns and you can go show your coach, see how much I'm willing to give up my body for the team? It was pointless. They had this big meeting the Friday before Christmas. They had this big meeting with charts, with dollars and plans of attack, and here's what we're going to go after, and here's what we're going to go after, and here's what we're going to do, and we're going to file the lawsuit today. And I'm going, great. Fantastic. I would love for the courts to say, wait a second, you signed this deal twice? You signed a grant of rights in 2013, and then despite having the opportunity to not sign it in 2016, you signed it again in 2016? And now you want out? I'm fine with Florida State saying it's a bad deal. Fine with it. People sign bad deals all the time. Right? In business, we signed a 10-year contract. I wish we could get out of it. Can't do it. Right? That's what contracts are for. You signed away what you signed away, and now you want to, well, that's not fair. Did you not read the contract? Did you do what we all do when you buy a new Apple device? Right? Terms and agreements, and just scroll, check, scroll, check, move on. Let me get to my iPhone. Let's hear more from Peter Collins. He's the chair of the Florida State Board of Trustees. Here he is on challenging the ACC.
Today, we've reached a crossroad in our relationship with the ACC. We are faced with the fact that the ACC is locked into a deteriorating media rights contract at revenues far below other conferences. The ACC leadership is also not interested in further negotiations on unequal revenue sharing or larger success initiatives. More recently, the ACC voted over Florida State's objection to add 3 new teams that add no additional pro rata media value to the conference. In fact, these additions will more than likely reduce the per team payouts from the conference after the next contract is executed.
Listen, you're really upset with the way the ACC is structured. Fine, I'm with it. Maybe I don't like the way it is. But the fact of the matter is you can't sign over the power for your future to a group and then be unhappy with the way that group is organizing it and want out. There's never, there have been no mysteries. There have been no hiding. Everything that Florida State is complaining about, Florida State knew was a possibility when they signed the contract. And furthermore, if we get out of the legalese, if we get out of the contracts, if we get out of the down and dirty, what we can just look at is say, why do you think the ACC is in this position? Why? Because years and years and years ago, they decided they were going to expand. And they brought in schools like Florida State, Miami, Virginia Tech, because these schools were national football powers. They haven't performed like national football powers for the most part of their time in the last 10, 15 years. You're part of the problem. Well, this isn't the consequences of my own actions coming right back to bite me, and now I'm mad about it. The pomp and circumstance, the ceremony of all of their meetings and their leaks and their this chart and that chart, it's nothing but that. It's nothing but that. And honestly, I think you might be quite stupid for attacking grant of rights for the simple fact of what do you think the next conference that you go into is going to want you to sign? You think you're going to go to the SEC and they're going to go, oh, yeah, right, don't sign our grant of rights?
Yeah, you just got free roll.
No, they're going to say sign our grant of rights, and then they're going to go, wait a second, you don't honor grant of rights, so why would we want you in our conference? Florida State has backed themselves into a weird corner.